All right, so this is a video to help you with doing the lab related to doing the shape of the moon's orbit. And I'm going to assume that you've already done the first step, which is to do the prediction of what you think the shape of the moon's orbit would be. And you've got a big piece of paper in front of you. That's what you should be looking at here, this big square of, maybe this is a big sheet of wrapping paper that you cut, or a sheet of newsprint or butcher paper or something like that. What I'm going to do to start with is I'm going to I'm not going to do that. Down in the lower left-hand corner, I'm going to draw a little sun here. That. And then if I was doing this on a real piece of paper, I would take a string and hold it down here where the sun is and lengthen the string out so it gets near the edge of the paper like this, and then stick my pencil or pen on that string and just draw an arc around like that. Now I can't do that on the computer screen, but I can do something similar. So something like that. And that quarter of a circle represents 1/4 of the Earth's orbit around the sun. So it's 3 months of our year orbit around the sun. Now, as we mentioned in the write-up, if you fly up above the North Pole of the Earth and look down on the solar system, then the vast majority of things will orbit counterclockwise around the sun. And then the Earth rotates counterclockwise. The moon revolves around the Earth counterclockwise, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So what you'll do according to the instructions is you will take this quarter of the Earth's orbit, which corresponds to 3 months, and you'll divide it into 3 sections. So I'm just going to take it divided into thirds like this. And so this represents a month, this represents the second month, this represents the third month as the Earth is orbiting around the sun. We want to look at the phases of the moon, which typically change basically once a week, give or take. And so we want to take our months and divide them into fourths. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in that month, 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in that month, and 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in that month. And what we're going to do is we're going to plot the position of the Earth and the moon from week to week to week to week, and we'll see where the moon goes, and then we'll be able to trace out the path of the moon as it goes around the Earth, as the Earth goes around the sun, and that'll accomplish the point in the lab. So what you'll do next with the instructions is you're going to draw an Earth for each one of these dates by putting a relatively small circle around here. It needs to be small enough, maybe a little bit smaller than I'm drawing them here, because you need to have room to draw the moon's orbit around each one of those Earths as you go along. I'm going to stop doing it there, but you continue to do that around like this. And then we could also do the moon's orbit around here, the moon's orbit around here, and then continue that on with others. Again, you probably want to make this a little smaller, but you'll have a bigger piece of paper, so you'll have more room to operate. I'm going to zoom in down here to do the first couple of things once we get those orbits drawn. So now we're looking at the first Earth and first moon, or first Earth and moon's orbit, and the second Earth and moon's orbit that we've got. And this is the one on the bottom of the original screen right here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to plot the moon's position for the 4 phases it goes through, the 4 main phases it goes through over the course of a month. So we'd start off with the new phase, and then we would go to first quarter, then we go to full, then we'll go to third quarter, then we'll go back to new at the start of each month, and then repeat the pattern, first quarter, full, and on and on and on like that, right? Until we get all of those. So those are the positions we want to mark on here. You know, we'll go back to this little zoomed in version that we got here. So this is our first position, and the first quarter position here. I've got my Earth, that's the blue circles, and then the gray circles correspond to the moon's orbit around the Earth. Again, the Earth would be spinning counterclockwise as we're looking at it here each one of these times. That'll come into play while you're answering questions, one of the questions at least. And then this would be the direction the moon is orbiting around the Earth. So as it explains in the procedure for the new moon, that's when the moon is between the Earth and the sun. And so let me get a moon here, and I'll draw with the sun, remember, is in the lower left-hand corner. So for the moon to be between the Earth and the sun, it would go right here. Okay. So if I go back to the original drawing, there's not a lot of room, but that would be putting it right here on this drawing right there. Right. Okay. And then the reason it's called first quarter is because the moon has made it a quarter of the way around its orbit around the Earth. And again, it's rotating counterclockwise. So 1 week later, when we get to first quarter moon, it'll be right there. You know, in our bigger drawing, that'll correspond to this position right here. Okay. And again, there's not a lot of space here, so I'm not going to try to do the rest of them, but you would continue on with full, which is when the moon is opposite the earth. Sorry, opposite the sun on the opposite side of the earth, and then third quarter when it's 3/4 of the way around, then back to new and first quarter full, third quarter new, first quarter full, and third quarter. Okay. And so you'll have that, and then once you've got all those done, then basically you'll just play connect the dots, and off you go, and that will give you the path of the moon as it orbits the earth, as the earth orbits the sun. You want to go back and shade in which half of the earth is going to be in the dark at night and which half is still in the sunlight. Same thing with the moon. What's the nighttime side of the moon and the daytime side of the moon? So leave a little room to shade those in. And then you can answer the questions, and there you go. You will be done.